Whatever you do it well. Do it so well that when people see what you do, they will want to come back and see you do it again. And they will want to bring others and show them how well you do what you do. And that is a quote by Walt Disney, who always does things excellently, in my opinion. Anywho, welcome again to the Profitable Photographer with myself, Luci Dumas. Not sure if that's good grammar, but anyway, with me. This is a solo episode, and I just had an experience that I wanted to share with you because if you listen regularly, you know that I'm really big on in-person sales and all of the things that go into creating an experience where people see the extra value in what we do. It's hard to explain in words to people about why we might be awesome and that they should choose us, but the experience that we give them can express that. So let's see, where do I start? Okay, I've always liked to shop, even when I didn't have money to spend on the things I would like. I still enjoyed the process of going to a store, going to a mall, and just checking things out. Sometimes I would discover things that I just absolutely had to have. And sometimes it was recreation. It might be similar to people that like to fish. It's okay to catch the fish. You want to catch the fish, but you still have a great time, even if you don't have anything for dinner that night. All right. But since the online shopping and internet and all of those kinds of things, shopping has taken on a different form. And I admit I spend time shopping online, looking up things when I get an email from a favorite store. I'll go there and then I'll get hooked in. And I'm not having that personal experience, that in person sales experience. So recently, I looked at my purse, and I'm somebody that doesn't change purse for their outfits. I don't care about shoes um, or purses. They just need to be functional and not unattractive. But my cute little red purse has seen better days. So it was time to start shopping. And of course, I went online, and I can't tell you how many hours I've spent. It's really pretty ridiculous, but it's a form of entertainment. Trying to figure out what the right purse would be for me, both the functionality, and I'm someone that's very tactile. I'm highly sensitive in many ways. So it has to feel comfortable, and I have to like to, just touch it, the feel of the leather or whatever it's made of. Oh, all right. So after this experience, spending way too much time online, I decided to get in the car and go to the mall. So I'm not going to give you the whole thing because this is going to be about the Chanel purse. So I went to 3 different stores, and each one had a uniquely different experience. So let's start with Macy's. Macy's has a lot of purses and a lot of brands, and they're kind of packed in. There's little sections where you can be like, okay, here's where this brand is and that brand is, but they're on racks. They try to display them nicely, but it you just have to pick through one at a time. And although one time that I went to Macy's, I did get a salesperson. Macy's, at least in San Diego, has very few salespeople on the floor. So you're pretty much on your own. So it's not in-person sales other than you can open the zippers, touch it, put your things in and see how they fit, but it's not an experience. It's just like being in the grocery store. All right. So, and I did discover that there are some purse lines that were more expensive, and I could see why, and that maybe I was going to end up investing in a purse rather than buying a purse. Catch my little words there? All right. So the next one was Nordstrom. Nordstrom displays things very beautifully. However, let's see. I didn't get that much help. The Nordstrom's experience usually is pretty hands-on if you want it in other departments, but I kind of told somebody that came up and said, "Can I help you?" what I was looking for. And she just said, "Oh, okay, well, let me know if you have any questions." So I was not getting the in-person sales experience. And let me see how I can put that. Well, there were luxury brands that were, I'm not spending $3,000 or $4,000 on a purse. I am not brand conscious, as I said, but I do like certain things to be high quality. And in fact, I'll tell you a little secret. My sister and I used to argue about spending good money on a purse. She would buy cheap ones and have to buy, let's say, 6 in a year. And I would buy one of quality and I would keep it for 2 years. So that's one of the things that I think, since I don't care about matching my clothes, and I know purses, merces for men are coming in fashion. So maybe some of you guys listening can also relate to this. Anyway, it's one of the things I believe that quality has value. All right. So Nordstrom has a good feeling in the display. Of course, has many different brands, just like a photographer who offers, let's say, senior portraits and headshots and weddings and family portraits. Lot to choose from. So you don't instantly think of them as this one kind of photographer. All right. So I decided to walk around the mall and see if there were any purse stores. I knew there were that could be really help me and kind of separate the wheat from the chaff because I was pretty confused. Now, I went by one store, I don't remember the name of it, but it had a barrier in front of it, like the kind if you're at the airport and you're going through security. So you have to be let in. Now, that is a strong statement about what's going to be inside. And there are people who absolutely would love to feel like this is so exclusive that not just anybody can walk in. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that kind of photographer. I don't attract people who primarily shop for a name brand or want to wear it on their shirt or on their bag. That's not who I appeal to. I appeal to people who like luxury in terms of the experience and the quality, but not the name brand. Okay, so I didn't go in there because I didn't want to bother, and I figured if they've got to keep people out, then probably the purses start at a price I wouldn't even want to spend/invest. Okay, so I walked into a Chanel store. And first of all, there's maybe, we'll say, 50 purses on display, if that. And they all have their beautiful spots where they're shown off in a classy way. So you walk in there and you think, okay, Chanel even if you didn't know the name, a Chanel purse must be high quality. That's the perception I would get, even if it was some other name of a purse company. All right. So the gal greets me like in a very friendly way, but a very, um, not pushy. And one of the things I always talk about in creating a great experience with in-person sales is becoming the trusted advisor. And the first step with that journey is to connect with a client, build a relationship. I'm going to pause one sec because my throat's getting a little dry. Hold on. Okay, so this gal, and I'm sure she told me her name, was nicely friendly and asked me, how's your day going? Or some little icebreaker, which is my first step in the phone call with a potential client with a hot lead. And then she asked me about not specifically what am I looking for, where I would say I want it with these many zippers and these many things, but she asked me about what I was looking for more in terms of functionality. And she listened. And I imagine if I was recording it, I would hear that she maybe even repeated it. So she stayed with me and we walked around the store and I kind of surveyed what was there. And she was pointing out different things. And then I was sharing, well, this is something like I discovered I don't like a lot of metal zippers because they don't feel good on my hand when I reach in. It's like scratchy. And so eventually she showed me a purse that I never would have thought to take a look at. And it was the right size and it opened in a way where things aren't going to spill out if I accidentally turn it upside down in my car or somewhere else. Uh, it had the pockets and the zippers and things that would give it the variety, the ability to kind of be organized, but not too many so that everything gets lost, which is a problem with my last one. Too many zippers, too many openings. And I, and this is the point, I began to desire it. I began to think it was the right one for me. And then I began to hope I could afford it or was willing. I could afford, I could afford that $1,000, $2,000 purse if I really, really wanted it, then thought it was, worth it to me. But I started thinking, I hope it's in a price range that I would be willing to invest. Definitely, I could tell it was going to be an investment. And it was at the top of the price range. I was kind of like, oh, okay. And so let's see what happened next is I didn't purchase it at the time, but I'm kind of obsessed with it. I went home, I've looked online, uh, you know, thought about it, different things. Now, how could she have gotten me to pull the trigger and purchase it? She might have said, maybe I want to take it home and to remember I can absolutely return it, no questions asked. She might have offered like, because I am a person that a little bit of a bonus or something can make me go ahead and purchase like the with Lancome makeup. Okay, guys that are listening, put in your own thing. And of course, I know guys that wear makeup. So, anywho, the purchase with Lancome can be motivational for me. So, and okay, and she showed me the little mini wallet that can be clipped into the purse and make it very accessible to get to money, and it even had some card slots. So she showed me something I didn't even consider wanting because I don't want extra weight, but it was very light. Now, if she had said, with the purchase of a bag in this price range, you have a bonus that you can spend on something else. For example, this little mini wallet, or if there was something like when you purchase this today, you get the bonus. I don't even know how much those were. I didn't even look. But anyway, something could have gotten me to pull the trigger and take it home. And for us with in-person sales of photography, to me, it's setting up the in-person consultation. So they don't have to make a decision on that first phone call. We just have to take it to the next level. Let's see, what else did I want to tell you about this? So that same purse, by the way, is in Nordstrom and is in Macy's, but I never even saw it. I never considered it. And it took, first of all, going into a space that had one goal in mind, or one brand, one, what am I trying to say? It was only Chanel. It clearly was a luxury display. The salesperson was very knowledgeable, listened to what I was looking for, gave me suggestions that I would never have thought of because I haven't ever, surprisingly, purchased a name brand purse. I mean, they all have name brands, but a luxury item like that. But at this point in my life, why not? Wish I could go back and invest. Anyhow, I'm getting off track. Okay, so she helped me. The whole thing made it feel like I actually would enjoy having that name brand, being not really in the club, but that I could see. What am I trying to say? I'm kind of cycling. Anyway, I get it about people like wanting the experience and carrying something that gives you that pride of ownership. Now, I wanted to slip in here, back in the COVID days, which were not the happy times, I went to a mall for something, I can't remember what. And as I walked around, I noticed the less expensive stores, you could walk right in. You had to keep your distance. There might be a limited number that they let in the store. But the ones that had that high-end perception had long lines. So, for example, I've mentioned this before. Downstairs in the mall, there was a K jeweler, which is, fine jewelry. It lasts, it's quality, but it doesn't have the decor, the experience, the clear brand. I don't know what the colors are, the brand colors with K Jeweler. The logo, the font they use, I think, is a little bit dated. And then right above it is Tiffany's. And that particular day that I was at the mall, there were two people in line at K Jewelers to get their turn to go in. And there were 20 people in line at Tiffany's. And I know Tiffany's wasn't having a sale. It's because the perceived value, perhaps what they offer that's different, is another reason. And I'm sure the service is impeccable. And the same with the luxury purse stores. There are other ones that aren't popping in my mind. But anywho, so What did we learn today? In-person sales is powerful. Having a clear brand is powerful. Giving the kind of help where you listen and build that trust, that trusted advisor as a salesperson without seeming salesy. I don't know if she's on commission or not, but I did not feel like she was pushy, but I felt like she was absolutely listening and then offering her advice. Another thing is, I felt like she was very knowledgeable, whereas going into the other stores, especially in Macy's, it was just like, yeah, these are just purses. Check them all out. And um, and I felt, oh, and the other thing is there was only one thing in the store. And I don't know why perceived value, because there's a lot of things that you can buy with the brand Chanel on it, and there's a lot of places you can buy Chanel purses. But why is a location dedicated to one item powerful? And I'm always suggesting, at least when we start in business, or if you want to really upgrade, is to pick a specialty and promote the heck out of that. And and have the environment, have your logo design, have anything that's what they call collateral, your website, your business cards, the way that you dress, have all of that cohesive around this one specialty. So I hope this is making sense. It just, when I got home, it was just like, oh my gosh, that was such a different experience. Since I'm not, a label person that really cares, I just never thought to actually look for a purse in a store that had one brand. But anyhow, so I guess that's all I have to say today. I've thought about different ways to explain this over and over again since that experience. And I'll have to let you know when I go in and purchase it. Now, I think if they'd had it in the color red that I like, I would have taken it home right there. So sometimes if somebody doesn't book us, it's because we're not quite exactly what they're looking for. And so I'll leave you with this. Our job as photographers is, or as salespeople of anything, is to educate the potential client on enough about what we're offering that they fully understand the value. And then if they don't purchase, it's because they don't want it. Or they really can't afford it. They'd love it, but they can't afford it. There's 4 kinds of buyers. 1, people that love what we do and can afford it. 2, people that love what we do, but they honestly cannot budget for that. 3, people that love what we do. Wait a minute. People that don't want what we offer, even though they can afford it. And then the people that don't want it and don't have the money for it. Like, for example, with a Harley Davidson, I would fall under the could afford it, don't want it category. So just be thinking on that. How can you make sure that you communicate the value of what you're offering so that when someone makes the decision, yes or no, it's not based on the fact that they don't really know why they would absolutely love what you do. All right, that is it for now. And I want to send out a great big hug all around the world. And thank you for listening if this is your first time or your last time. And check out LuciDumasCoaching.com. Also, check out my YouTube if you haven't discovered that yet, or find me on all the platforms, The Profitable Photographer with Luci Dumas. Okay, ta ta for now.